whatever you wind up doing is exactly what you should be doing.
And I have not behaved one single day of my life. Not one day of my life have I behaved, and I am fine.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're going to hurt some people.
Whose car are we going to take?
Guys, thanks for joining us on the Nikki Medoro Show. I am Nikki Medoro, and thanks for joining us on this, I guess, precursor to an extremely hot rest of the week that we have on tap. Make your plans now to get near a pool or a lake or something, because it's gonna be toasty out there. We have a great show coming up today. We're going to start off by talking about how Tucker Carlson just can't stop getting sued for defamation, and I'll play you a little bit of a clip on why this case versus the Dominion case is way more clear-cut. Mike Lindell. Did you hear the latest news about Mike Lindell? Apparently, his company, MyPillow, is auctioning off hundreds of pieces of equipment. Now, of course, some are pointing to the fact that he lost so much money by following the Trump conspiracy lie, and nobody wants to be associated with them. Some say, you know what? People don't like your pillows anymore. He's, of course, blaming logistics, so we'll get into that. We have a couple of cases regarding people being charged and not being charged and sentences reduced. Remember that guy that sprayed that homeless woman? Well, he is not going to be serving any time. Elizabeth Holmes' sentence has also been reduced. We didn't talk about this yesterday, but the story came out yesterday about Larry Nassar. Remember, he was the freaking disgraced sports director that was accused of molesting all of those gymnasts. Well, apparently he was stabbed in a Florida prison. A woman who helped find Lady Gaga's dog and then was also part of the theft. Well, she's not going to get paid. And then a little bit more on that submarine that imploded. Square, it is not 9 o'clock already, but thank you for the reminder. Coming up next month, starting next month in August. This show right here is going to start in the morning. We're going to move to the mornings around 9 o'clock. We'll be before Mark Thompson. Kim McAllister will still be joining us. We'll be moving back to our morning roots. And I'm excited about it. It works for both me and Kim. And so we're going to continue to warn you each day about that. And so starting in August, 9 o'clock right here on YouTube, or of course, anytime, because that's the magic of YouTube. It's Amazon Prime Day. Anybody? We'll kind of follow some of the deals. If you guys are finding any deals, I'm not a huge Amazon Prime Day person. It is not a day that I mark on my calendar at all. I don't need to buy more things, and I don't need an excuse to buy more things. I don't know. You guys like me? I don't need an excuse. I'm trying to get Taylor Swift tickets. They're just too expensive. I really want to go. My daughter really wants to go. I really want to go. I follow her music. I've seen her before. She puts on a great concert. And it's one of those things where you know it's too much money, especially after just coming back from freaking Hawaii. Let me welcome my friend Kim McAllister, because she'll feel me on this. As a mom, Kim McAllister, you want to give your children the things they want, especially when what they want, you want.
Yeah.
I want to go to the Taylor Swift concert.
Oh, I thought it was done. Is it not done?
Oh, no, it's at the end of the month.
Okay.
I really want to go. Like,
is it not sold out yet? How do you get?
It is, but I mean, you could spend a lot of money.
Oh, how much are you going to spend? Like thousands of dollars to go?
No, I can't. I know. See, that's
no.
Of course not.
It's unreasonable. You can't go. What are you doing?
I know. I can't. So I text. No. So I go on StubHub today.
Uh-oh.
I did not buy them. Don't worry. And I went through the whole. So StubHub, by the way, sucks ass because they won't tell you the final price until like 7 pages into it. Just guess in fees, not the ticket price, in fees, how much they wanted to charge me.
In fees, $500.
More.
Oh.
I mean, this is total for 2 tickets. So
1,500? for fees?
$800 for 2 tickets for
Ooh.
fees. It was like $425 per ticket. I know, Kim. I miss the days of the radio hookups,
Yeah.
my friend. I very, very much do.
I wouldn't even go to that concert if you told me I had to go in the very far back for free. No.
Oh, you're high. I would totally be there.
I'm
Are you not,
so
you're not a huge Taylor Swift fan?
Oh, yeah, we love Taylor Swift. We think she's amazing. Yeah, that's great.
But you want to go for free?
But radio hookups have shown me that, no,
Ugh,
you could go
snob of
I
me.
mean, someone should be giving me tickets to be in near the front or backstage. What do you want me to go in the back? Absolutely not. And you
I'm
want me to
Kim
pay
McAllister, damn it.
$2,000 to do so? Forget it. No.
It's one of those things where every time, and it's totally peer pressure, seeing people
Yeah.
at the concert, seeing the videos, knowing the songs, wanting to be there to sing. Like there's so much of the FOMO happening in me that I have to keep telling myself. So I text my husband the cheapest tickets, including fees. And
Mhm.
again, I did not buy them. $3,600
Oh, Lord.
for the total
No.
for 2 tickets. And so I text James. I go, that's too much money, right? And he's like, yes. And I go, I know. It's so hard not to want to go. Apparently, I was going to do this later in the show. Ticketmaster effed up again with the Taylor Swift ticket sales in Paris. They it shut down, it glitched out, so they had to pause
Oh.
everything again. I think Ticketmaster just shouldn't be responsible for these anymore. I don't know what the answer is, but they keep messing it up. Yeah, so Randy says, I just checked SeatGeek. I have not checked SeatGeek. Taylor Swift tickets at Levi's. Cheapest is about $1,250. Most expensive,
Yeah, no.
$7,500.
No, absolutely not. That's asinine. You can get the same experience if you want to by just popping the music on in your car and you guys can sit in there and sing at the top of your lungs. That's super fun.
Not the same as the thing that, and it's also what's happening at the concert. And I'm just gonna geek out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like girls are making friendship bracelets and handing them to each other because there's a song that mentions like giving out friendship bracelets and like people are. It's like the outfits and the dad moments, even though James would not be caught dead at a Taylor Swift concert because he hears it way too much in the car. It's just, I really want to go. I just really, really do. I know it's not the most important thing. And Ricky, exactly. I could do so much with $3,600. So I was joking with my husband. He's like, oh, so Dylan and I can go on a $3,600 vacation. I was like, well, when you put it that way, no.
No.
Like, no. I mean, I really do want to go. I'm not going to lie. My last gasp will be the day of the concert. So what I'm going to do on the day of the concert is just to see if, people are freaking out that had tickets and was hoping to sell them. I highly doubt that's going to happen. But I'm not paying $3,600 to go see Taylor Swift in concert. And I've seen her in concert. It's just, it's like a really long concert. I just really want to go. I really, really, really want to go.
I just don't think it's possible this time around.
I know.
No.
Amy makes a good point. Sitting in the back row of the concert, you'd be missing the concert and
Yeah.
watching her on the big screen anyway. So you may as well wait for the actual concert to air on Prime Video.
I agree.
Okay, so maybe we'll have a party. Exactly. We can make friendship bracelets.
So this is Jennifer Garner, who is a huge Taylor Swift fan,
Yep.
went to the concert, and look at all the bracelets she was given.
I know. It's so much. It's it's FOMO. It is so like we could do it again. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I know. Hey, I have self-control, Randy. I didn't buy the freaking tickets. So there you go. I was close. I'm not even kidding. I was so freaking close, but
you're very frugal. I don't want
I
to say
know,
you're cheap, but
right?
You're very frugal. You're like better than I am at saving and being good with money, and you inspire me to be very like watch what you spend and don't spend frivolously. And so I know you must really want this if you're talking about,
I like experiences. I do not mind spending money on experiences. And also it's my kid, right? Like,
but I would have thought the minute you saw $3,300, you would have been like,
that's why I didn't buy it. But
Yeah.
it's killing me. It's killing me, my friend. I really, really want to go.
Mm-mm.
I will not. I know. I see the comments. You guys are right.
No.
Usa, just don't don't do it, Nikki. If I go to the Taylor Swift concert, you could smack my hand really badly. But there's scams going on. I was going to do this later, but just in case there's any Swifties listening, there's tons of scams. I would never buy a ticket off any like Facebook Marketplace. Don't do that.
No.
If somebody's like your friend's friend and they're like, hey, you could buy. I have 2 tickets. I want to give it to a fellow Swiftie. I have a great price. No, that's not. I do not go to. I guess SeatGeek. I've never used SeatGeek. StubHub. Ticketmaster is not reselling these tickets because they effed it all up anyway. StubHub.
Well,
I think it's another one. You have to find a place that will give you your money back if they're not real tickets.
Didn't it used to be where there would be people outside the venue selling tickets last minute?
Scalpers. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's often likely a scam as well now.
Yeah, they're not real. They're copies.
Yeah.
Also, if you do have tickets, here's another piece of advice. And it's hard because you want to tell everybody you're going to the concert. Don't take a picture of the barcode, because that's all that's needed. Not the name, nothing else. It's just the barcode. So you could show up and somebody's already used your ticket. So yeah, you don't want to do any of that. I don't know if you have this in your news, but someone in San Jose won, not the jackpot. Someone won like $300,000.
They won a chunk, like 325 or something.
Of the lottery. So maybe I'll just continue to play the lottery. It'll be a better shot of me.
I was hoping it was you. It was at a San Jose gas station.
And I
was like, oh, please let it be Nikki.
Yeah, no. Kim says, I was lucky enough to go to 2 Taylor Swift shows in 2018, I think. Don't you just love how she says, I think? One in Santa Clara, one in Minnesota, both for free. That'll just have to be my Taylor experience for life. Yeah, I know. All right. Well, I'm moving on. My heart is not bleeding, though, for Tucker Carlson. Did you see this news? He's facing another defamation case. New York Times is reporting that Ray Epps is taking legal action. Now, Ray Epps was from Arizona. He was there on January 6th. Here's a little bit of why this case against Tucker Carlson about Ray Epps may be even more cut and dry than the Dominion case. Because remember, the Dominion case, it's what they were saying on air about the Dominion voting systems. Well, apparently, Tucker Carlson was a lot more clear about the conspiracy surrounding this guy, Ray Epps.
That's exactly right. If you look at the Dominion claims, Tucker Carlson's broadcasts were one part of what Dominion was arguing in court. They had like a 20-point case that they were making, and Tucker Carlson's show was only one of those 20. Here you have 18 months of Tucker Carlson's shows over and over again, repeating these false stories that somehow Ray Epps is a secret agent that was in the crowd inciting the riot, and it never happened. Now that none of that precludes Ray Epps from being charged, right? Because what essentially Ray Epps's opponents were arguing is that because he hasn't been charged, that somehow makes him a government agent. Well, we don't know that Ray Epps is not charged. We have no visibility into the government's investigations into him. He very well could be charged. And so it was this absence of a charge that led people to kind of run wild with these allegations that somehow this guy is, responsible for the entirety of January 6th, which even by the comparison of what the Dominion claims were. Remember, Dominion somehow rigged the election, that their voting machines were somehow hackable, that Biden could steal votes from Trump. That's all really fanciful. But what this guy is accused of, Ray Epps, is even crazier than that in some respect.
It's kind of crazy that Tucker Carlson continues to find himself in so much trouble. Have you ever watched his show? It's on Twitter, right?
But I didn't watch it when it was on Fox either. So
that's very, very true. But I mean, it doesn't even seem like it's making any waves, as in I'm seeing clips of his show on social media, so I have to kind of watch it. John writes, they put Ray Epps in danger and his family, every insurrection denier. I mean, just about brings up Ray Epps as an FBI provocateur. Yeah, I mean, he's the scapegoat, right? It's just like blaming January 6th on Antifa. Oh, Antifa set it all up, which doesn't make any sense if you kind of go down the rabbit hole of what was said and what was done and what they were trying to do. But Tucker Carlson, I mean, he's really screwed up. Who is it? Jesse Waters is supposed to be replacing him, or it has his slot on Fox News. I have not heard one peep about him doing good, bad, or indifferent. I wonder what this is going to mean for Fox News. I mean, Tucker Carlson was one of their top hosts. So it's not that I'm playing a tiny violin for Fox News, but there are consequences. And I'm glad that there are some consequences for all the lies and misinformation that happened since the election. MyPillow's Mike Lindell is apparently auctioning off a lot of his equipment after retailers are pulling its products. So apparently, they listed more than 850 quote unquote surplus equipment items on the online auction site KBid. This includes sewing machines, industrial fabrics, spreaders, forklifts, even desks and chairs. Walmart, Bed Bath & Beyond, not surprising there, and Slumberland Furniture all said they will no longer sell MyPillow products as Lindell continues to falsely claim that the 2020 election was stolen. Lindell said yesterday it was a massive, massive cancellation. We lost $100 million from attacks at box stores, the shopping networks, the shopping channels. All of them did cancel culture on us. It's not cancel culture. You're a wackadoo. Like, they don't want to be associated with you. And again, as someone who, for a very brief moment in time, many, many years ago, did ads for MyPillow on Station X and was given free MyPillows to try out. No, I did not like them. And then when my good friend Chip was offered to do it, he's like, do it with me. I said, no. I said, I can't do it. I don't like the pillows. And then all this crap came out about Lindell, and I was really happy I said no. Yeah. I personally didn't like the pillows. We actually still have some of them somewhere. I think the dog sleeps on them. They don't keep their fluff. That's my honest to God, has nothing to do with politics. I do not like the pillows. And Randy says it's not cancel culture, it's the free market. Don't these diehard Republicans like Lindell know this? Yeah, absolutely. Now he's all pissed off, obviously, about losing all of these big box, sailing opportunities. He also claims that the company is subleasing some of its manufacturing space in Shakopee because the packaging for direct sales is different than what's needed for big retailers. He says, we kind of needed a building and a half, but now with these moves we're making, we can get it down to our one building. Pretty soon, not even that, I'm sure. He said, if the box stores ever came back, we could have it if we needed it, but we don't need it. It affected a lot of things when you lose that big chunk of revenue. I don't feel bad for the guy. His story was very interesting. He was drug addicted. He started this company, and it did actually seem at the beginning, this made in America type of story. He started this company. It was based in America, right? So it was one of those things. But he hopped on this conspiracy train and has not gotten off. Like there's like, okay, I support Trump. Yeah, I think there's something wrong with the last election, blah, blah, blah. But when you have people's livelihoods with jobs, company in your hands, maybe back off on the crazy talk just a little bit, because you're hurting people. Later on in the show, we're going to get into it. And I don't want it to just be about, LGBTQ rights or anything like that. But when that case with the Supreme Court came down, where that web designer who never designed any wedding websites for a gay couple was then allowed to say, no, I will not do that. When that was supported by the U.S. Supreme Court, we said that's just the beginning. And it has begun.
No.
A hair salon. Like, because remember, it's my expression. What the F is expression mean, right? There's a hair salon in Traverse City, Michigan, where the owner now says she will do the LGB. but she will not do the D or the cube or the plus, which she thinks means plus equals pedophile, which it doesn't. It means allies, right? It means the rest of us. So we'll get into that story. And yes, I understand the discrimination, but from a business aspect, does this make sense? Because I had posted that TikTok about, not tongue in cheek, but kind of tongue in cheek. Like, hell, if you don't want to have your expression, your culture, your art, or whatever, go to the LGBTQ community. Well, the LGBTQ community can look at you and be like, screw you then. It's against my religion to serve bigots. Sorry. Now, again, tongue in cheek, not tongue in cheek, right? But so many people were mad at me for that. How could you? You're a bigot. How could you discriminate against people? I'm like, are you not like ramming your face full force into my freaking point? How does it feel when you find yourself on the other side? And so we'll get into it. I'll read you what she actually said, and it's terrible. And she feels kind of like Mike Lindell, feels like. I'm doing this to protect whatever. My First Amendment rights, against these people that she considers groomers, all of this sort of crap, right? Just admit you're a bigot. And this is what I'm thinking more and more, Kim. I think these people just do it for clout. I think they do it to get their name out there. And it doesn't matter to them that it's hateful, it's hurtful, it's dangerous for these marginalized groups. All they care about is getting their name /business /Instagram handle out there. And I honestly, I've been thinking that more and more. And it's absolutely frightening. It really is frightening of how far people would go just to make a name for themselves. Yeah, Wes, wait until a gay business owner turns away a prominent MAGA supporter. It will make the news. Yeah. I don't know how to get through to people that have never been discriminated against what it feels like when you haven't done anything to this person. When you've walked in, you actually want to give them money for a service and to be looked at and said, not you, not your kind, not people like you. I know who you are. I don't think anybody that's never experienced that can really fit into those shoes. Because it doesn't happen to them. I mean, and I don't want to hear any MAGA, well, whenever I say I'm a Trump supporter, people just start hating on me. Really? And then they take your money and they give you their service, don't they? Asshat. It's so frustrating. Randy says the hair salon trans ban does not align with the SCOTUS ruling. File a lawsuit. Someone will do it for free. True. But you never know. You never know. Because the Supreme Court ruling said expression, one of a kind, unique to the individual. I could argue that cutting somebody's hair is never the same for two people. Every single time I cut hair, it's how their head is shaped, what I look at and what I see. You can make the argument to this U.S. Supreme Court. Hands down, you can. And that's the point. What is expression? What is art? What is culture?
Yeah.
And that's why I made that TikTok. Fine. And it was like, oh, you mentioned, wedding dresses. And I said, et cetera, and culture and food. Obviously, I was making like a 30-second TikTok. I wasn't including everything that every LGBTQ member could be part of. But what my point was, is they're in everything. And how would it feel if you walked in and they denied service to you? I think that more businesses, and this should just spread far and wide if you're an ally especially, they should be saying, just as we have like the Made in America label, we support LGBTQ rights. We support women's reproductive freedom. I know that not everybody wants to get so political when it is a business, but specifically with the LGBTQ community, I want to know. I'm not part of the LGBTQ community, but I'm an ally. And I would love to just walk into businesses and be like, do you support and serve the LGBTQ community? And if they say yes or no, that's where I spend my almighty dollar, because that's how you express yourself.
Yeah, it's the same thing you're talking about with Mike Lindell. I mean, it's less of a cancel culture and more of I'm voting with my wallet.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
we have a choice as to what we buy. They have a choice as to what they sell, right? And so if stores don't want to carry it, that's them voting with their, their
Mhm.
purchasing power. No.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I would like to see, because when I made that TikTok, people were like, "Well, good luck. The LGBTQ community is only a small percentage of the population, and so it won't matter if they don't want to give us their dollars or give us their services." I'm like, "Yeah, but then add the allies." And that's what I want to inspire people to do, is to
Mhm.
be vocal, to be a vocal ally of marginalized groups. Because damn it, and then and then people get into religion, and it's just like, I don't know what religion you're part of, but the religion I was raised at, we were inclusive, we loved each other, judge not, lest ye be judged, all of that. And then people look at me and they'll, oh, she's Catholic, but not practicing. Sometimes I feel like I practice more than some people that walk through the church doors every single week. So, but yeah, it gets me aggravated. We'll also touch on it a little bit more in the second hour. Did you see this though? Just real quickly, something completely different. The Titan sub victims, they keep pulling more of the stuff up. Have you heard about this, Kim? It
I don't know.
is
What do you got now?
frightening. So the headline is that the victims likely realized their fate between 48 and 71 seconds before their deaths.
Oh, no.
Now, I'm not saying that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
So this is what they think. They think that, okay, so they were likely aware of the impending implosion. A Spanish engineer offered a timeline. He said during the controlled immersion of the Titan, there must have been an electrical fault, which left the craft without thrust. Without thrust, the weight of the passengers and the pilot, which was focused on the front end, close to the viewport, would have disrupted the Titan's longitudinal stability. He goes on to say that it happened probably around 5,500 feet depth. At that point, the submersible begins to fall headlong towards the seafloor. And with control and safety functions damaged, it can't be maneuvered. The pilot could not activate the emergency lever to drop the weight and return to the surface. And he says, and that lever was inadequate for such an emergency. He says the Titan changes position, falls like an arrow vertically because of the 880 pounds of passengers that were at the porthole unbalancing the submersible. Yeah. Everyone rushes, crowds on top of each other. And then, within 48 to 71 seconds, it happens. It's really sad. I continue to be fascinated / horrified by the whole entire thing. They say the hull would have been subjected to the sudden increase in underwater pressure, leading to the powerful compression. And they also call out the materials that are being used. The carbon fiber, very prone to possible defects. They say any small, very tiny failure could lead to an implosion. They said a small leak at that depth would have sent water gushing in at a speed of about 620 miles per hour. Everyone would have been killed instantly in that instance anyway. So, obviously all these people have been killed. Ocean Gate has suspended its operations. I don't think they'll ever be able to come back. I don't know anybody that's going to want to.
No, they're going to be sued out of existence, even if they, have anything left to offer.
Well, it was not funny, but when I was getting ready to go to Hawaii, I was talking with, who was I talking with? Somebody, I think, the woman that was doing my fingernails as I got a manicure before we left. And she said, well, I'm sure, she's like, one of the things I love to do in Maui is they have these things that go under the ocean. She's like, but probably not the best time. I bet it's not going to be that popular. I was like, I'm not doing anything that's going under the ocean floor right now. I think the ocean might be a little mad at us right now. So, no. So we didn't do anything like that. I didn't even want to do scuba diving. I was like, let's just stay as much
the difference
to the surface of the water.
There's this little submersible that goes down, but it doesn't go down that far. I mean, it's
know, but I
it's
still
like
didn't
right
want
under the surface. you're like, it's like snorkeling
Not
without
this
being wet.
year, Kim McAllister. Not
no.
this year. Sorry, not at all. All right, Kim's going to do some headlines. Ooh, thank you to Wes for the $5 super sticker.
Thanks, Wes.
Starting us off, Wes. Yeah, I didn't do this at the beginning of the show. Please, you guys, click the thumbs up button. Make it a habit every time you start the show to click the thumbs up button. It helps expose us to other people that happen on YouTube. The super chat, be like Wes. You could donate to our show either live or during the replay. Just look for the $sign and you can give us a super sticker, super comment. We'll read your comments. But please, the number one way to support the show and to keep me and Kim here is to become a Medorable and a monthly Patreon subscriber. So just go to the NikkiMedoroShow.com. That's the NikkiMedoroShow.com, and you could donate any single amount that you can afford. I always like to consider it like a tip for the month of the show. Whatever you felt like you could give, please do it. It's easier to think it that way, right? Than to think it's like a daily thing. It's just once a month to subscribe to the show. And we really, really do appreciate it. Our PayPal link is up there. The merchandise website is up there, the NikkiMedoroShop.com. And yeah, it's a fun way and a needed way to support the show. I'm also putting in the links because I always forget to do this and Kim's always so good at it. There's a link if you guys always want to chime into the show, those of you who listen live. So it's right there in the comment box right now. If we're talking about something and you want to weigh in or you just want to say hi, you could totally do that and just jump in the show right there. Okay, when we come back, some changes in charges and sentences. Everybody from the guy who sprayed the homeless woman to Elizabeth Holmes. That's all coming up on the Nikki Medoro Show.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
Well, let's start with this rather breaking story out of the Bay Area. Hazmat crews responding once again to the Martinez refinery. The problem today, chemical dust released into the air. It is being investigated by inspectors. Bay Area Air Quality Management District is on the job. They are closely monitoring petroleum coke release at this refinery. They are responding to complaints right now. At this point, the hazmat crews say it's a release of dust from the Martinez Refining Company. It is visible on the ground in surrounding neighborhoods, and the public is advised to avoid breathing or coming into close contact with this material. Right now, the Contra Costa County Health Department is collecting samples for analysis in the lab. But at this point, if they're telling you don't come into contact with it or breathe it in, then close all the doors, close all the windows, and stay inside while you can. Set your car, if you have to be out driving around, to the, the recirculation. Try to get yourself not breathing this stuff, this fine dust that is spewed out of the Martinez refinery. There is an arsonist who apparently used some flares to ignite a brush fire in Vallejo. Well, he was detained on Saturday by this mixed martial artist. I have to show you the pictures. It's interesting. This man allegedly used a flare to spark this brush fire. So there's one of the pictures of the brush fire. I mean, anybody who starts a wildfire, look at that in the rolling hills there in Vallejo. Yeah, no. So used one of these flares, threw it into a bush, apparently. That's how that happened. But this man saw him at Admiral Callahan Lane and Turner Parkway on Saturday night. And the quote is, the man introduced him to what is being called what is it? I'm sorry. It's called an arm hold. Yeah, that's what he introduced him to that. This vigilant Vallejo citizen saw this man deliberately start a vegetation fire with a flare. He, the arsonist allegedly runs across the street, gets into a black Tesla parked nearby. And so before the suspect could drive away, the witness removes him from the vehicle, introduces him to a double arm bar. That, according to the Vallejo Fire Department, the arsonist remained submitted in this double arm bar until police arrived and arrested him. So bravo to this man who saw this happen and detained the guy. there's probably going to be some lawsuit about he had me in a hold. He's violating my rights. Well,
No. Yeah, I know. He needed to be held. That guy was nuts.
Right? I
No.
mean, again,
Look at
where that's fire zone right there.
Ugh.
And while it's, you can see that they've mowed down most of the vegetation, it's still a really dangerous area. There's trees, there's growth, and it's right by the city. It could just race in. No. And that's the kind of thing that we have to.
I love you like, no.
No, that's a no for me. I'm sorry. Can't do. So yeah, love this mixed martial artist who got right in there.
There you go.
Double arm bar. I don't know exactly what that looks like, but yeah.
Exactly.
In Vermont, kind of a serious situation with flooding today. Officials say a dam is threatening to overflow into the state's capital city after heavy rain fell in the area, water within a foot of topping the Wrightsville Dam. So residents are being told head for higher ground on a moment's notice. The area has received up to 9 inches of rain, with rivers already above levels set by Hurricane Irene in 1991. This is in Vermont. President Biden is scheduled to hold private talks with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. This is in Lithuania at the NATO summit. Russia's war in Ukraine is among the top agenda items for NATO leaders. But earlier today, Zelensky took to Twitter expressing his frustration at delays in the process to join NATO. President Biden has said the war in Ukraine needs to be over first before NATO is welcomed into the alliance. Protesters on both sides of the abortion issue. Man, is it getting ugly in Iowa, I'll tell you. Yeah, they're making their voices heard at Iowa's state capitol today. Iowa lawmakers debating a bill that would ban abortion when a heartbeat is detected. Republican Governor Kim Reynolds is pushing for passage of this new ban with today's special legislative session. And there are protesters on both sides yelling at each other, getting pretty angry out in the Capitol Rotunda of Iowa. The multi-state manhunt for this escaped Pennsylvania prisoner, his name is Michael Burnham. Well, it is intensifying. Officials say the homicide suspect, said to have survivalist skills, broke out of a Pennsylvania jail by climbing up on exercise equipment and then out through a roof overnight on Thursday. He is still on the His 34-year-old, he's been leaving behind small campsites as he continues to evade about 150 searchers in and around the Allegheny National Forest. Just a little campsite for warmth, on to the next campsite.
Jesus, that's frightening. Jeez.
Oh, man. President Biden has a razor thin lead over former President Trump in a hypothetical 2024 matchup. The poll coming from the Morning Consult shows 43% of registered voters would support President Biden, 42% former President Trump. 10% of those polls say they would support someone else. And as Nikki mentioned earlier, somebody came so close in San Jose.
Not me, though.
No, a Powerball jackpot is now increased to $675 million for Monday night's draw. One ticket sold at a Bay Area gas station has come very close. Imagine this. At Dianza Boulevard Gas in San Jose, one ticket had all 5 winning numbers, but not the Powerball number.
I can't even imagine reading the numbers and seeing so many that matched. I mean, I'd still be happy. Don't get me wrong. I'll take it. But my heart would be beating out of my chest.
I'm kind of greedy on this one. So the ticket with 5 matching numbers, but not the Powerball, is worth $352,712. That's good, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's amazing. That's $352,000 you didn't have before. But are you ever going to come that close again? You came so close to winning $600 some odd million, and you get stuck with the 352. Come on.
No, I take it though. I hear what you're saying, but I mean, you have to consider yourself. You'll be one of those headlines that'll be like, she came close and then she won the jackpot. I mean, how many times do you hear about people that win multiple jackpots? It happens all the time. So I think it does. I think it does.
So. I think it's statistically impossible.
No, it isn't.
And you're never going to come that close again. I once got, I think I got 4 numbers.
Really?
Yeah, but it was only worth $152.
Only.
Yeah.
I take 152 more than
It
I
was
had
good,
before.
but I'm thinking I'm never going to get that close again. Like it's nearly impossible that I got this many numbers that time. So
Right.
I'm just saying that poor person who got 5 numbers right and walks away with 352,000.
There you
One
go.
one more number.
Yeah, but what would you do with $352,000? Okay, and half that, right? So
I mean, see, I'm being greedy.
$175,000.
Yeah, I'm awful. I'm an awful person. I'm going straight to hell for being so greedy.
No,
but
you're not going straight to hell, but I'm just saying, like, let's
Oh,
keep it in perspective. That's a lot of
yeah,
money, you know?
it is a
That is
lot of money.
absolutely a lot of money.
How many Taylor Swift concerts can I go to?
I would definitely go into the Taylor Swift concert if I won the lottery. I need to win the lottery to be able to go.
I'm Kim McAllister on the Nikki Medoro Show.
John had a friend, won $9 million in the lottery in 1991.
Awesome.
I make that still your friend, hopefully, John. Yeah, I want to win. I would love to win something. Are you going to buy a ticket for tomorrow?
Oh, totally.
Yeah, right. I mean, and it's stupid. You either always buy a ticket or don't buy a ticket, right? I feel like the people that consistently play have the best shot of winning.
Yeah. I don't. I wait till it gets way up there.
Yeah. Oh, and she was smart. John's friend was smart. She got it in 26 yearly installments. That's what I would do too. Because then, you don't want to be one of those people that just spend all of the money. Yeah. That happens all the time, by the way. People just go, it's the lottery curse. I love watching those shows on TV. It makes me feel bad about losing.
I heard that it's better to take the money up front.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I guess. Yeah, you can. Because
that way you can invest it and do what you want to do with it. Yeah.
Right. But I like the yearly installments if it's, if I know
to keep
myself.
You from being spendy McGee.
Although I feel like I wouldn't be. I would hope I'd still be frugal.
You would.
There's so many questions I want the chance to answer. If I would just win the lottery. Let me just answer these questions and tell you that I will make the right decision.
What happens if you croak? Like if you croak,
that's it then, right?
4 years in, then does it just go back to the state or do your heirs get it? No, take the money up front. Walk away with it.
Oh God, all the things I could do. Yeah, John agrees with you. Better to take the money up front if you know how to invest. I mean, I want to be this is what I want to do. If I win the huge lottery, I'm going to be one of those people that just lives off the interest. Because that's what they tell you. Like if you invest it properly and you're not crazy, right, and buying like a Lamborghini every day or something, you can live off the interest. Just not worry that you can cross off money as one of life's worries. Yeah. But then you don't want to be crazy. I feel like a little bit of strife is good in life, right? You need a little strife in life because if not, then you start doing weird things like, challenging guys to dick measuring contests or something like that. Like you need to have something to make you work for it. That's why I think people, for instance, go down on dangerous submersibles under the ocean because they are looking for something to make them feel alive because everything's given to them. They don't have to worry about money anymore. Right? Yeah.
Well, nothing makes you feel more alive than not knowing whether or not you're going to pay rent this month.
That's true. Are you going to get that car payment or anything like that? All right. Okay, so you guys remember this guy. I think I have a picture of him. I think I put it in here. I have so many. Oh, here we go. You remember this guy. Remember this? This was the guy by the name of, where does his name go? Collier Gwynn, 72 years old, owns the Foster Gwynn Gallery in Jackson Square and was caught spraying that homeless woman in the face. It went viral, but he will no longer face any criminal charges. Instead, he will have to complete community service. My question to you guys is this. Do you think community service can change somebody's thought process, how they view a certain person from going to this to something else? This guy took a hose, looked at another human being and squirted her, right? Sprayed her, and sprayed her.
Like she was a common pest or a rat in front of the store.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, he has said that, he was really fed up. There was a news release that was put out And he said it was an act of frustration that came after weeks of attempts to get police and social service agencies to help the mentally ill woman. That's what his attorney said. Collier had paid a high price with physical damage to his property and immense reputational damage from the video of the event. Sadly, there's no video, but there are many records of his and his neighbors' numerous attempts to assist the woman prior to the incident. So I'm going to stop there. So this guy is trying over and over and over again to quote unquote help this woman who he already knows is mentally ill. I understand frustrations, but it takes a level of frustration to reach this point. Wouldn't you agree? So let's see. These are the police reports. On multiple occasions, Gwynn and other business owners requested city agencies assist the woman to address her quality of life and mental health issues. In the 25 days before the incident, the city's emergency management office received 50 calls from Gwynn's neighborhood about unhoused people, not just this woman. According to the police report, local merchants described the unhoused woman as being severely mentally ill, behaving in ways that frightened and offended customers and employees. Mr. Gwynn and 3 other business owners told the officer on the scene they all had a history of problems with that woman. They tried to help her in the past by encouraging her to stay in the doorway of his business on rainy nights. Mr. Gwynn called police to his business the same morning to assist in moving the woman. The woman was not injured by the garden hose, declined to press charges. She refused city services. And one day after the incident went viral, she was placed on a psychiatric 5150 hold. Okay. So knowing all of these things.
So he can't get any help. He calls and calls and calls and calls. And he can't get any help.
Right.
But still, the cruelty with which the picture is showing, with depicted here is, I can't. Yeah, no.
Wes makes a good point. Look at how relaxed he looks with his legs crossed. Mm-hmm. Like he's not going to stop squirting her, right?
Just another day in front of the art gallery.
John says he should have gotten some time in jail for that. You don't do that. But then Vicky says, I admit that squirting her was wrong, but people are understandably incredibly frustrated. And I will agree. I think that you hit a breaking point. Now, I'm not justifying this at all. Don't get me wrong. Now, as part of his community service, Mr. Gwynn has to volunteer for 35 hours at Third Baptist Church with civil rights champion Reverend Amos Brown.
Perfect.
That's what I say.
That is the perfect.
When I saw that, I was like, okay. Hopefully.
So you become more understanding about the plight of the homeless.
Yes.
You're helping, you're doing something.
You meet people, right?
What good does it do to put that guy in prison or in jail, in the county lockup? He's making, he's got a business. He's making money for the city. He tried to get help. He couldn't. The best thing to do for him is to have him try to understand better what homeless people are going through. So, maybe he has a little bit more humanity the next time this happens.
I will hope so. Vilma doesn't have much hope for him. She's like, I don't believe his thought process will change. The woman was mentally ill. No excuse for him to be cruel. On the other hand, how can a mentally ill woman make decisions for herself? Exactly. Yeah. We go back to what we were talking about yesterday. The human infrastructure. They're closing that psychiatric facility here in the South Bay. There's not enough help for these people. Yeah. And so then what happens is people get frustrated. They reach a breaking point. They start being violent. I was driving with my kids yesterday, and there was a guy completely out of his mind. He's pushing a shopping cart over an overpass, totally talking to himself. And my daughter said he just threw a rock over the overpass.
Oh, no. And
I was like, how big of a rock? She's like, I don't know. Well, she just saw him throw something over the overpass. Now, I didn't hear an accident or anything, and I couldn't see the freeway from where I was. So then I'm like slowly walking past him just in case I get a news report. Like, what did the guy look like? Right. Totally out of his mind, talking to himself, yelling at himself, kicking away things that aren't there. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad. We are seeing people, and I will always say this, when people lay their head literally at your feet, it is a cry for help. We have so many people crying for help. There is a reason why, instead of going, I know the jungle and things like those places exist. There's a reason why people are pitching up tents on the side of busy roads. It's so you will see them. So you'll see them. That's how I see it. They're crying out for help, whether they want it or not. I think there is something inherently inside these people that, one, do it to be safe, right? Like, hopefully no one will do anything to me if it's right here out in the open, which we also know isn't necessarily true, but might mitigate that. But two, it's like, look at me. I am here. I need help. I can't survive. I can't make it on my own. It's so sad.
Square says people get desensitized, which led to this. The officers or officials, government don't do enough. Alternative hospital help for the homeless, too costly. People eventually do the wrong thing.
Exactly.
And Lori says she didn't think 35 hours is enough of community service. She says 150 at least.
Okay, so how many hours? Let's say, you think he's going to do 8 hours a day? If it's 8 hours a day, I don't think that's enough. I think he needs to go back and back and back. Like, we got to do it in 4-hour increments or something. Because that's maybe at least, close to 10 days or whatever. Yeah, but I kind of agree, Lori. I want him to really be immersed in the community in which this woman found herself in, not just the homeless, but the mentally ill, and how difficult it is to get through to these people. So that maybe when he's like, I keep telling her to move and I keep telling her to move, if he encounters somebody else that maybe is not as mentally ill, or talks to people that are part of their families or whatever, he might say, it doesn't matter how much you're saying that to her. She's not on the right medication. She's not getting the right, services. So it doesn't matter what you're saying. You could be speaking gibberish to her for all she knows. You could be a monster in her eyes. It's those sorts of things that we don't know. We just don't know what we don't know about the woman. But and Vicky says they often don't accept the help being offered, and there's a reason for that. And it's, I'm sure, multifaceted depending on who you're talking to.
Wes talking about having a support system for people, his loved ones, but still, even though you're there for that person, you love that person, it can push you sometimes, So
absolutely.
Hard, Wes. I'm sorry you're going through it, buddy.
Yeah, it makes it and what's interesting is that, the stereotype of California is we just keep giving all these services and they don't work. It's because it's hard. It's hard to, one, of Ken have the staff, but two, not every single person is the same. Not this that works for John isn't going to work for Sally type of thing. It's not a one size fits all solution. Heather writes in, people like the hose man don't learn lessons from things like community service. They just dig their heels in and double down. Their views and behavior are too deeply ingrained. You know what I hope, Heather? I hope that he doesn't spend his time arguing with Reverend Brown. Well, I did try this and I did try that. And instead of just humble yourself for a bit.
Yeah.
And I know that, and as I'm saying that, I feel like we should also be putting ourselves, and I know it's hard to say because of that picture, in his shoes. It's, he looks like he's older, right? He's definitely older. He just wants to run his business. He's tired. He's been dealing with this. He just wants to make money. We don't know what's happening in his life. We don't know how hard it is for him to make ends meet. Right. So we have to be empathetic to both sides. You just don't want it to, you don't want to see it devolve into what we saw in that picture. Lori says, you have no idea how many times I've had a homeless person say, thank you for seeing me. To me, when I acknowledge something they say or give money or say why I can't give the money.
Yeah.
You must feel so invisible when you're homeless sometimes. You stand next to the people's cars and they don't look at you because they don't want to feel bad about not giving you any money.
Well, and I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of being the person who looks away.
Of course.
I'm absolutely guilty. It's just a matter of self-preservation. Like if you engage, then you could get hit or, yelled. The person could start yelling at you, going crazy, attack you. So you do what you can to get yourself out of the situation as quickly as possible. You don't know what the person's capable of.
Yeah.
So, not always. There have been some times where, I've engaged with a person, but like I mention him all the time, the guy that used to live outside KGO. I would run into the building as fast as I could to get away from that guy. So,
yeah, I mean, there was another guy over at KGO, but it was as you walked to the parking garage, and every day I'd pass him during the day, and he had no shoes on his feet, and it bothered me to no freaking end. And so I asked my husband, like, do you have any like decent tennis shoes? But obviously they're going to be used tennis shoes. And I think that he's about your size. I keep passing by him and checking him out. And I gave it to him and he left them. He never took them. He just left them there. I don't know. Eventually somebody picked them up, but he didn't take them.
Yeah.
And I felt bad because I was like, did he realize that I was giving them to him? Because I said, I didn't want to engage too much,
right?
Because I was scared. I'm walking alone by myself in San Francisco when I gave it to him.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I see you have no shoes here. I hope these fit. And I just I put them there. And he I don't know if he understood what I was saying. And then he stood there all day because I could see him from our studios. And then I saw he was gone and the box was still there. And I didn't know what I should have done. Did I not see him enough? Yeah. Did I not, explain to him more? Did he not want them? Was he screw you? I gave him socks too, obviously, and it's tough. It's really a tough thing. Jimbo's clicked into the show. Jimbo, we love having you on.
Hey.
What do you think about what we're talking about? It's a tough call because I understand both sides, but I never want to be the person with the hose, right?
Okay. I wrote in the comment that the 5150 and the 5250, the legal way we can put them in a psychiatric ward, it only lasts a few hours to days. It doesn't go past a month. So if we put said woman on the street into psych ward and she comes right back afterwards because that's where she knows, apparently she might have a friend around the corner or something, what can that businessman do? That's what I think is unfair. We put the onus of, it's sort of like the same question of what can cops do? What can any of us do when someone starts acting out of control? Whether it's PTSD, it's drugs overdose, or just they're having a bad day, right? So if I, normal guy with money and have a job and kids in the house, have a bad day, I jump in my car and just start yelling and ranting, does that automatically mean a cop, a neighbor can throw me into a psych ward? That's the problem everyone's afraid of. But at the same time, once a person starts intruding on society, where you lie in front of a business door, where you run into a 7-Eleven, snatch some Snicker bars and run out, and we don't prosecute, but yet at the same time, it's inconvenient, scary. Where I was on a field trip walking from my kid's school to a park a block away, and in that path, 3 strangers jumped out of the bushes to yell at the kids because their tent was right behind the tree, and we didn't see until we went in the park.
Yes.
So their intrusion is almost to a point where if we were in Texas, someone might have shot that homeless person, or even here, if they'd gotten too close to my kid, I might have punched the guy.
Absolutely.
At what point is intrusion into our life means that we have to be accepting of it? So,
well, what do you do then? That's the perfect question, and I think that's the dilemma, right? We want to be empathetic. Right. We want to understand that some people are having mental breakdowns and may not have anywhere to go. Again, they're closing the psych facility in Santa Clara. Another one, there's only 200 beds inpatient for a population of 2 million in Santa Clara County. So there's no place to go. We don't have the human infrastructure. Do we all just get our hoses? I don't know what the answer is. I understand the problem, but what do we do?
So unfortunately, first question is, why is that homeless person in other people's spaces? Okay, so I understand not everyone can go into the forest and survive, or in a car and survive. But if you're literally laying down in the street, yes, they need help, and there should be automatically a way to get them off that street first and assess them. So we already pay millions of dollars for people to go around and collect our garbage. I know they're not garbage, but we can afford to pay social services to just drive around the streets at 12 o'clock every day, pick them up and put them in a homeless shelter / service. Contra Costa actually does that. There are counties that have roving vans that provide showers, dental work, checkups, needle, vaccination, and they'll drive you, pick you up, and take you to service. Some people will resist, but they do have the right to clear them off of a main street, a busy intersection, or a private facility, because the county gave the sheriff / that service the right to remove them off of people's places and out of the way. So yeah, it does sound like we're hiding them, but in a way, if we don't move them, they actually cause more problems down the road, right? And even if it's just you have to walk around and ignore them, it still causes you to walk into a street or onto someone else's property where a dog might bite you or something. So the fact that they're in the way already causes more problem than trying to put them in a facility or some other place. So I believe we need a little bit more money to get those people physically off the streets that are in the way. I have actually supported around the corner a bunch of like trees underneath the highway intersection or something like that. There's actually ex-military people set up camps. It's like a mini military camp. And they all have a thing to the YMCA. They walk across the street to the YMCA. They take showers. They come back. They cook their food under. They know how to take care of themselves. Cops even show up, say hi. Are you guys okay? Good, and then they leave. So I drop off soup cans. I give them toilet paper, and they're perfectly good at taking care of themselves. I would never report them to the psychiatric ward. The CHP and the police that have come by actually shake their hands and say, thank you for your service, because they're all ex-military vets. I can't make them go to a homeless shelter, but I know they can take care of themselves. But the people who can't take care of themselves, that lady that's laying on the street, someone should have picked her up before the guy had the hose. And when the guy had the hose, a neighbor should have walked to the guy with the hose and I just called the service. Let's give them an hour. If they don't show up, then both of us hose them down. Sort of like, I know it's mean, but the community has to protect itself too. You know, so I'm kind of on the hose guy has the right after trying so hard with the city and the county and whatever else.
Yeah, but the hose didn't actually solve anything. That's my problem with it. It's like you hosed her down and now she's just a wet woman sitting in front of your business instead of like we need to do something more than that.
But we also don't know what happened to Lieutenant. What if she started cursing at him, threatening his kid?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and apparently that's what she was doing with all the reports. Right. I like how you kind of contrasted the vets able to take care of themselves yet still not living, you know, in housing or whatever. With these people, it's just what you're suggesting, I think, is what most people want to see. And I hope that's where we're going with like the care courts and things like that. But again, I don't have a lot of faith that the money is going to go to the right place. I feel like it's going to be dispersed among way too many nonprofits, not knocking nonprofits, but sometimes I feel like it's a chunk of money that's diluted because there's so many hands in the pie. So I'm not optimistic that we're going to get it together, at least not in enough time to do something within the next couple of years. I'm really pessimistic about solving this problem.
Yeah, and unfortunately, your other topics of where do we put them? Let's say we find 100,000 homeless people, 50% goes straight to psychiatric work. Okay, we solved that. But what do you do with 50% like those military vets that can take care of themselves, but they can't afford it, right? So do we build 50,000 tiny homes or take over 5 malls and convert them into dormitory?
Westfield's open, right? I mean, I don't understand why we have empty office building after empty office building, and we just can't use that as temporary housing, emergency housing for people. I don't understand. I understand, but I don't understand. I know that there's, you know, permits and it has to have certain things, but it's either a tent on the street or an actual building, which I'm sure has electricity and at least a couple of bathrooms. Maybe it's too simplistic of an idea that I'm saying, but
in San Francisco, the city is preparing to buy a vacant office building on McAllister Street. I just was reading yesterday for that.
Oh, good. Yeah. And they're going to use that for emergency housing?
They said, it didn't say emergency housing, but it said
government assistance. So maybe they're going to use that from the social service that they'll go out.
Yeah.
And then bring them in to at least engage them and probably say, okay, we're going to put you here. You're going to contact these people. Yeah. If you continue on this program, we'll help you with housing, get you into something more permanent, maybe a job with the city, just even picking up trash. I've seen places like, I don't know, a couple other countries where if you're homeless, they immediately pick you up and give you a job of picking up trash. Right? And then if you stick to that, they'll actually give you a job in the city office, moving papers, just greeting, security guard, but not with a gun. Just, hey, you're not supposed to be here. Could you leave this area? It's restricted. And they actually come up the ranks, and they have special dormitories right next to the said city buildings. and it's just for people coming up through that program. And all you need is basically a small hotel room, you know, your own little bathroom, your own bed, and a mirror and a desk. That's all that's in there. Have you guys seen that show, the one where it's games, it's Korean games, and those bad guys like shoot you a lot? Well, when they're not shooting at you, they go to the dormitory, and then
like
that's
Squid
it.
Games? Are you talking about Squid Games?
Yeah, Squid Game. Yeah, Squid Game.
Yeah.
So
season 2.
Ironically, that dormitory exists. The where all the security guards go in.
Oh, okay.
In South Korea, they have a huge population of ex-criminals, kids who were bad before they were 18 or 20, whatever, and then they get put in this program. So they start in the dormitory and they clean up the streets of South Korea. And if they do a good job in 3 months, they get a government job. And then they get pension and wages. And then they become a government employee who goes out and takes census, does crossing guard duties, their extra patrols on parades. They're just, it's sort of like the people who send out the fires, you know, the prison, the fire break gangs or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're giving them an opportunity to earn self-respect as well as being a savior of the community. And now Gavin Newsom's giving them the rights to reduce their crime. How long they have to stay. Reduce the sentence, give them parole, give them even a job right out of the gate joining the local fire departments. You know, because you normally can't if you have a felony. But now Gavin Newsom wrote the law that you can if you come out of that program. So there should be programs like that for the people who currently can't survive in the Bay Area, but they want to. And so they're on intense. And I don't know. I don't know how to help them without giving to all the homeless, but I don't know how to not hurt them by taking away things.
Yes, exactly. Because you want to be empathetic, but you can't put up with it. The pendulum is swung way too far with our empathy that we're letting people literally live in filth because we feel bad that they can't afford living in the Bay Area. Well, there should just be a better system of moving them into first, like what you were talking about, some sort of real shelter. And then they need a job. They just need a little bit of help. There's so many articles that we read about, you know, like the guaranteed income, that $500 would have made make or break for some people, which doesn't sound like a lot of money, but for some people it is. And yeah, it's so complicated. It really, Randy, I think, was saying, you know, to help these people, you're going to have to violate. Yeah, here we go. If you want to address homelessness, we're going to have to violate some people's rights. And I think that's true. I think if you really want people off the streets, and they can't live there anymore, you forcefully have to remove them. And it becomes, I don't want to say a crime. I want to say, like, you have to go through this program or you're just going to keep ending up right back here. Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
Well, I love all of your comments, Jimbo. We love when you click in. Be like Jimbo. Click the link and you can join the show anytime you want to. Thank you, my friend. We'll talk again soon. Bye. It's so hard to solve, especially when you have a heart. Because I know some people, they are not, I'm going to say heartless, but they're just like, screw them. Throw them all in jail and throw away the key. They're that frustrated. You know what I mean? They're that frustrated with it. But no, Jimbo was absolutely right. Like, there are jobs we want done, picking up trash, picking up these encampments, move all those people out and then bring them back. You have to clean up all of this crap. We're not going to use the garbage men that make buku bucks, right? No. You guys made the mess. We're going to give you garbage cans. You're going to clean it up, and that's it. And that's what it's going to be. But yeah, I don't see, I'm usually an optimist with a lot of these things. I'm very pessimistic on solving this problem within the near future. It's going to take a lot of collective thinking. And again, I think it was Breed that was talking about so many nonprofits that it's not sustainable. We need to streamline and we need to find out what works and get rid of what doesn't and consolidate and all those sorts of things. And then, yes, Gordon is right. So many people don't care and say, not in my backyard. And when we find spots that would be perfect for these people to have some sort of temporary shelter and get these services, people need to stop saying, no, not here, because it's here. This is our community. It's something that we absolutely need to see happen. Do we have our little Jacob there?
No, that was Julia. She was bringing me something I'm really excited about.
Oh, good.
I know we're talking about serious homelessness, but When you were in Maui, I did a story about it being plastic-free July. So this
Oh,
is
okay.
something from the Monterey Bay Aquarium, and I had made a pledge to everyone here that I was going to really attempt to not use as much plastic, single-use
Okay.
plastic, okay? And one of my favorite things is this tea Java tea. It's peach iced tea. And I had only been able to find it in plastic containers. So they have a bunch of flavors. They have like raspberry and mint and lemon. My two favorites are the peach and the mango. And you
Okay.
can really only find them in the plastic throwaway bottles, which breaks my heart. And I don't want
Like
to
it.
use that
Yeah.
tea. Right. Well, I just got handed a glass bottle of tea Java peach iced tea. So
Where'd
I'm
you
really
find
excited.
it?
I don't know. I just the office door opened and in came this glass bottle. So I'm
It's like,
pretty
Mom, you
excited
just had to
about it.
look for it. It's fine.
Well, and she set it on the desk, and then she went tink tink, and she's like,
I love that. Good
Yeah.
job, Julia. I
Yeah.
didn't know about No Plastic July. So how far does that go? Like zero plastic, like
So
plastic wrap.
it's called Plastic Free July. Okay,
Okay.
so but and it's through the Monterey Bay Aquarium.
Okay.
But I think my whole take on it is I realize that I can't eliminate plastic completely from my life. I'm
Right.
using Tupperware containers, whatever else. So I'm trying to eliminate single-use plastic.
Okay.
Is what I'm trying to do. So that's stuff like not buying drinks in plastic containers. Don't want to do that. Making sure that I don't use plastic wrap to wrap things up, that I'm using the wax paper wrap, or that I'm, using a reusable container, that type of thing. So that's what
Okay.
this is what
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Like thinking to myself,
I'm making an effort.
I'm trying to think so I heated up some food for my daughter this morning and I used saran wrap. So that's.
Did you put saran wrap in the microwave?
Yes, I always put saran wrap in the microwave.
No, don't put plastic in the microwave. That's toxic, dude.
Saran wrap goes in the microwave.
No, saran wrap is plastic. You don't put plastic at high heat. It releases chemicals. Don't do it.
Microwave.
Plastic. Don't put plastic. Never put Tupperware
I have
containers.
always done that.
Don't do it.
USDA says what plastic wrap is actually safe to use in the microwave as long as it's labeled microwave safe. Well, now I got to freaking go look and see if my crap says microwave safe.
Yeah, I wouldn't even put like a plastic container in the microwave. At high heats, plastic.
But I use glass. I use
Glass
glass,
is great.
but
Glass
it
is
has
great.
a plastic lid.
Take the lid off. Don't do it. Put a paper towel over the top. Don't use the plastic in the microwave.
Everyone disagrees with you. Well, not everybody. Nick agrees with you.
Mm-mm.
I've never heard that before in my life.
That's when the chemicals at high heat. That's when the chemicals can leach out of plastic and into your food. Absolutely not.
Grady doesn't even like us using microwaves. Look at that. We've started something here. I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna go grab my saran wrap and do some more research on this. Well, I didn't know that. And I'm not gonna fight you on it.
I don't even care if it says microwave safe. Like, it's plastic, it doesn't go in the microwave. Also,
so your Tupperware, you don't put your Tupperware you don't put your Tupperware in the microwave.
No.
Oh, I don't use
I'll put a plate, I'll put a paper towel, but nothing plastic in the microwave. Also, nothing plastic in the dishwasher, because again, unless it's cold, I'm doing a cold wash. But because high heat, that's when the chemicals leach out.
I'm part chemical.
I sound like a nut. Like a
no. You're probably right. Like I had to give. Yeah. I told you that I was giving up Splenda, right? Because there was that story last month or the month before about how it separates your DNA or some sort of crap. So I moved to stevia because I just don't like regular sugar. I use too much of it. That's why I don't like regular sugar. But now I have to add saran wrap to the whole damn list.
Yeah, no.
Sandy says you can microwave. Okay, you guys are going to. Kim, your tea has a plastic cap.
No, it isn't. It's metal.
Ah, got you, Nick.
It isn't.
Boom goes the
Thank
dynamite.
You, but it is. Well, it might have a little plastic coating on the inside, but it feels like aluminum, the cap. So I don't know.
You can recycle that.
Yeah.
Right?
I hope so.
Exactly.
Yeah, I will. I'll put it in the recycle bin.
Heather's my kind of girl. She's like, I'll probably keep doing it anyway. Could be hit by a bus tomorrow. Might as well enjoy my lean cuisine. I love you, Heather. Yeah. There's a big part of me that's thinking the same damn thing. Yeah. All right. Kim's going to do some headlines. When we come back, we have a couple of more cases of charges changing. I got to get into Elizabeth Holmes. Like, not that surprised. Larry Nassar as well. And then Lady Gaga will not have to pay up. which I actually like that story a hell of a lot. Please, you guys, click the thumbs up button to show your support of the show, and we'll talk about all of that next after Kim's news.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
Now that you guys all think I'm nuts for my no plastic ways, this is the news from the Nikki Medoro Show, and let us begin with the release of Leslie Van Houten. She was, you may remember, former member of the Manson family, and she is now being released from prison here in California. TMZ is reporting today that Leslie Van Houten was set free after serving more than 40 years behind bars. Van Houten was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder in 1971 for her involvement in the La Bianca murders in Los Angeles in 1969. Since being convicted, her lawyers say she was brainwashed by Charles Manson at the time of the murders, and she has since been rehabilitated. So that was her then. And this is a picture of her now, after 40 years in prison. Van Houten received parole earlier this month after Governor Gavin Newsom said he would not challenge her release after doing so 3 different times before. So finally, Leslie Van Houten gets out of jail. Not sure how you feel about that, but I'd love to see it in the chat, what you think. Hollywood studios, meanwhile, are preparing for a possible actors' strike. It may be coming down the pike. SAG-AFTRA's current contract with studios expires at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time Wednesday. So that's midnight tonight. If a deal isn't reached by then, actually, it's not tonight. It's 24 hours from now, tomorrow night, right? If a deal isn't reached by then, an actor's work stoppage will happen, joining writers already on strike for more than 2 months. The deadline, just hours after the nominations for the Primetime Emmys will be announced Wednesday morning. The strike would also affect movie premieres, with multiple reports saying Disney would shift its planned debut of Haunted Mansion at Disneyland this weekend to being a fan event. So things would be different.
Did you hear this real quickly, though?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was running to get my microwave safe saran wrap. The Fran Drescher, did you include Fran Drescher in the story?
I talked about her a couple hours ago. Fran Drescher
she's getting vilified over this.
She's the top negotiator. She decides it's a good time to go to Italy, to a fashion show, because apparently she's a Dolce & Gabbana spokesperson, or
she was hanging out with Kim Kardashian and all kinds of people. They're
posting selfies at the Dolce & Gabbana fashion show in Italy.
Yeah. So
meanwhile, we're down to the wire in negotiations, and she is the chief negotiator on the team.
Is she, though? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know if she was. I didn't know if she was the chief negotiator.
Yeah, she's where it's at. She should have been there. But okay.
Well, SAG-AFTRA late yesterday defended Drescher's decision because she was, as you mentioned, the brand ambassador. I mean, it's not a good look. You want to be kind of the rah-rah, shish-kumbah kind of union person, but whatever. Hopefully they just don't go on strike and they get what they want.
The story that I've been remiss in covering. So let me tell you the story about UC San Diego students. They used chalk to speak out against the University of California system. They got arrested, and now hundreds have shown up in protest, and even more arrests have happened. So police arrested 2 graduate students and an alumnus, saying they vandalized the Marine Conservation and Technology facility at UC San Diego on May 30th. They reportedly wrote slogans in chalk like "Living Wage Now" in washable marker and chalk outside a campus building. Okay. They say the UC system is not honoring their recent contract negotiated with academic student employees. Scheduled to be arraigned on Monday, hundreds of protesters from the University of California system descended on a county courthouse in San Diego, but a written statement issued the same day, San Diego County DA saying the arraignment will not move forward as the case hasn't been submitted to the DA, the office, for review. In a statement, UC San Diego says it supports peaceful protest. It does not, they say, tolerate vandalism. Now, as a mom, I've washed countless times chalk, sidewalk chalk, off of surfaces, off of fences, off of tables, off of chairs outside, cushions, right? So to me, this is not a big thing.
Right.
But
it's not spray paint. I mean, come on.
What they're saying is that this chalk damage cost more than $12,000 to repair. The quote is, the vandals used materials that defaced the walls of a new facility. Those materials seeped into the concrete. The concrete had to be specially treated to withstand the marine environment, and it had to be professionally repaired. Well, I mean, I think the fact that they used chalk means that they didn't intend to do damage and that they intended it to be washed off. But okay, so now there's a big to-do over all of this.
Well, just Jesus. All right, whatever.
Let's go to the Hill bomb. San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
Police Chief Bill Scott defending police response to a skateboarding event on Saturday, calling the officer's decision to arrest about 100 people a justified reaction to what he called brazen criminal activity. Scott condemned the, quote, riotous atmosphere, saying they recovered firearms, knives, drugs, illegal fireworks, and spray paint used to graffiti property. Chief Scott also said an officer was punched and spat on, and that people set off illegal fireworks in the direction of officers and bystanders and destroyed Muni trains. He said, we have an obligation to do our jobs. So there.
I completely agree. I mean, I saw a press conference. I think he was giving it also yesterday. And he was like, what do you expect our officers to do? Just stand there and take it? Exactly. And that's why when we were talking about this yesterday, I said, and so many of you were saying the same thing, get the permit, make it sanctioned. You do not get to look at law enforcement as you break laws and say, you're the problem. No, my friend. No.
No, it doesn't work. I mean, and I don't think you should expect police to stand by when people, public property like Muni trains and officers themselves are put in danger by this.
No more.
No can do, people. No can do. Something new going on at Google. The Google Calendar now has new capabilities.
Oh, let me look at it while you talk. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I don't know if you want to do this yet, but the Google Calendar will now allow users to take paid appointments. So the new feature is designed for professionals and freelancers like therapists or tutors who offer time-based services. Users need to connect their Stripe account to Google Calendar to start accepting payments. Google says policies regarding payments and refunds are the sole responsibility of the account holder. But so now when you send out an invite on your calendar, you can pay on Google Calendar at the same time. So if, like, say you were putting your therapist appointment in your calendar, I guess you could pay that person at the same time.
No, I'm not putting my pay information into another thing. How about that?
Convenient.
How convenient. Yes, please.
Today, Apple, with more business news, is launching an online store within WeChat. Okay. It's a full line of Apple products available for users to purchase on China's biggest messaging platform. More than 1.2 billion people use the WeChat. Over the weekend, Twitch launched a long-awaited discovery feed for content producers. Twitch creators have always relied on YouTube and TikTok to promote their channel content. The discovery feed uses algorithms to serve short clips of content to visitors, much in the way that TikTok does.
Oh, okay. There you go.
And a close down in San Francisco, or actually Redwood City, Evernote is shutting down its Redwood City headquarters and moving to Europe. That's it for California. Sayonara, sucker. The note-taking software company, which was once really the biggest note-taking software in existence, will likely set up shop in Milan, Italy, where its parent company, Bending Spoons, is located. Last week, Evernote laid off most of its staff here in the Bay Area.
I mean, I don't use their services, so it's not a big thing to me. So,
and maybe you can bring up a picture of this beautiful city, Carmel by the Sea.
Okay.
A new survey concludes Carmel by the Sea is the most expensive summer destination in California. Good job, Carmel. Cheaphotels.org analyzed the price of hotel rooms in 30 different locations throughout California. The surveyor found an average price for the cheapest double room during July and August. Carmel averaged $305 a night. Hotel rates in Carmel have risen more than 30% since 2019. San Francisco, interestingly, the cheapest accommodation at $115 a night. That's a 30% decrease from 2019, but look at that. You see why everybody wants to go to Carmel?
Oh,
hello.
I've only been to Carmel, I think twice in my life. And the last time was during COVID. Oh yeah. And we just don't often go that way. And we drove during COVID when we had just had to get out of the house, and we drove all the way down. We stopped in Carmel, and I'm like, oh my God, this place is heaven. Absolutely.
And it's so
heaven.
close to you. I mean, come on.
I know. It just, it's one of those things.
Carmel, Pebble Beach,
Monterey.
You gotta go. It's so
nice.
amazing.
It is.
So but it is very, unfortunately, the most expensive summer destination in California.
For obvious reasons. So there you go.
I'm Kim McAllister. You got it on the Nikki Medoro Show.
There you go. Yeah. All right. So real quickly, because I do want to get into some of these things before the show ends. So this is my saran wrap. It is literally Glad saran wrap. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It does say microwave safe, BPA free.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you points. Okay. Now you're going to make me not want to wrap my food. I will say this. Sometimes I do wrap my food in paper towels. The reason why I like to use saran wrap is I feel like it heats it better. Like it keeps the heat in. So my food's not in the microwave as long. Okay. The rules, the directions, I never do. They say it shouldn't touch your food. Unless it's a bowl and there's it goes down and the saran wrap goes across. If I have a piece like a chicken on a plate, the saran wrap has to touch the chicken.
Right.
How else is it going to stay up over the chicken? So that I totally fail at. My saran wrap totally touches my food. So I'm full of chemicals. But my mom texted in, Kim, and she just wants me to let you know that you're off your rocker. That she told me. Everybody uses saran wrap. Everyone uses saran. I'm like, not everybody.
I'm not off my rocker. And now I have to do research and bring in an expert and tell you guys, because I don't want you to get
I'm sure you're right.
Forever chemical cancer.
But I mean, I've been using it forever. So I kind of think I'm screwed no matter what.
No, there's never.
I think there's a point of no return.
The
what did they call that? The atomic clock on my body with the forever chemicals.
Over, party over.
Way gone, right? I've always used saran wrap. Now, I love Randy. Good day, Nikki. You learned something. Yes. I mean, now will I throw my saran wrap away? No.
I'll use it in the fridge. I'll cover something with it in the refrigerator in cold temperatures. I'm just not putting it in the microwave or in any place where it's going to have high temperatures and leach out chemicals. No.
I love SF Tesla. Maybe microwave safe means it does no damage to the microwave. Because we care about the health of our microwaves. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, I'll do research. We do research. I do have those, but again, and then I looked at so I have glass containers, but it has a hard plastic top. And I guess that's not safe either then.
No, you take off the hard plastic top.
What else do I have the hard plastic top for?
So that when you take it out of the fridge, that it doesn't spill everywhere, so that it's contained in the fridge. Or if you need to take it somewhere, but you don't put the plastic in the microwave. What am I? It's 2023. How is it that I am the only one that knows this? Crazy people.
All right. Well, we'll continue to do our research. I'm going to try to use it less. How about that?
I'm going to send you 50 million articles about how you're going to die tomorrow.
Well, I could. Not from my microwave, though.
Get hit by a Mack truck.
There you go.
Might as well keep plastic and put it in the microwave. Put it all in.
Well, I know somebody that wishes time would move a hell of a lot quicker. That's Elizabeth Holmes. She's going to get out of prison nearly 2 years earlier. Does that piss you off at all? Anybody? We already knew she wasn't going to serve all of her time in prison because good behavior. I'm assuming she's going to have good behavior. Let's see. Generally, those incarcerated in federal prisons can earn 54 days of good conduct time off their sentences for each year of their sentence. Eligible inmates can also earn time off for participating in completing programs, reducing post-prison reoffending, educational health recovery, blah, 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 blah. We don't know what led to the decision to reduce her sentence. It's still going to be a long time. She's still going to be in prison for 9 years? 9.5 years at a minimum. That's the entire time her new babies are going to be kids or little kids. So I feel bad for her. I do not feel bad for Larry Nassar. the disgraced sports doctor that was convicted of sexually abusing Olympic and collegiate gymnasts. He was stabbed in prison in the back and the chest. 2 officers guarding the unit where Nasser was held worked mandated overtime because of staffing shortages. And so the stabbing apparently happened then when they were short-staffed. Is it wrong of me? That's awful of me, but he's not dead. He just got stabbed in prison.
But a bunch of times, like 6 times in the ribs and a bunch of times in the abdomen and a couple times in the neck. Like that's a serious attack.
It was a shanking. I think they would call that, like a shanking, right? I know it is really cruel of me to say it like this, but I could give 2 rats ass about what happens to him in prison. He's an awful, 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 awful human being.
Well,
he deserves it all.
Isn't there something about people who hurt children are not received in prison?
In prison, so, I mean, yeah.
Think about how many kids he hurt over the years.
Exactly. And then one more story: a woman who was convicted of kidnapping Lady Gaga's dogs in 2021, and then sued her for not paying the $500,000 reward for returning the dogs. Well, her case has been dismissed. The judge said, "You cannot benefit from your own criminal act." She's like, "I have a problem with your position." It takes some big balls to stand in front of a judge and be like, "Yeah, I stole the dog, but I also returned the dog, so I should get the reward." I mean, really? I don't think so. Now, what was that movie? Ransom with Mel Gibson. Sorry, I liked that movie actually a lot. That was how he got his kid back. If anybody remembers, spoiler alert, it's a very old movie. But yeah, he basically said, "I'm not going to pay the ransom to the guy that stole my kid. I'm going to pay a ransom to the people that know. I'm going to pay the money to the people that know him to turn him in," because that was smart. And it was a twist ending, which was really, really funny. Square says Nasser probably told the guy, "Don't kill me." And he says, "No, we want you around for a while. We'll just hurt you." Probably. Natalie says, "Do you think he was stabbed because of his crimes or because he's a weaselly, annoying guy?" I don't know. Crimes. Every time I look at that guy's face in the news, I just want to punch him in the face.
That's a pretty brutal attack. I mean,
yeah,
that's not "you annoy me." That's we're going to get you.
Prisoners, Harry says, prisoners take care of their own. How many of them were abused as kids? Payback is a bitch. Yes, indeed. I mean, Simone Biles, we heard the stories of so many people that were abused by him. It's freaking sad. It's absolutely sad. Okay, yeah, but I'm glad that Lady Gaga, by the way, does not have to pay. I'd be pissed if I had to do anything like that. Okay, we have time, and I know we touched on it a little bit. But citing the new Supreme Court ruling, a Michigan hair salon has stated it will no longer accept LGBTQ customers. I want to read you what this woman wrote on after it was announced. This is what she wrote on a Facebook post that was condemning her for it. Her name is Christine Geiger. This is what she wrote. She says, "I have no issues with LGB. It's the TQ plus that I'm not going to support. For those that don't know what the plus is for, it's for MAP, minor attracted person, aka pedophile. This stance was, she's full of crap. But anyways, she goes on to write, this stance was taken in to ensure that clients have the best experience. And I'm admitting that since I'm not willing to play the pronoun game or cater to requests outside of what I perceive as normal, this probably isn't the best option for that type of client. There are over 800. I want to make a point of this. She's like, there are 800 licensed stylists in the county. There are plenty of salons and stylists willing to cater to what I will not. This is a free country, and I'm not a slave to any narrative. Conservatives need to acclimate these woke individuals to their new reality. Conservatives have had enough, all in caps, of their ideologies being projected onto us. We used to quote, just let them be. Most of us kept our opinions to ourselves. I mean, why look for unnecessary conflict, right? Well, the other side used this against us. They mistook our silence for weakness, and look where it got us. I don't know where she's talking about, but whatever. So now many of us bark back, we speak out, and we make it clear where we stand on these issues. They can't handle it. They aren't prepared for this. So I am more than willing to take the first round of strike strikebacks in hopes that more of you will see this and be inspired to stand up tall and speak your own truths and not simply let them be. And then she went on to say that these are pedophiles and compared, I guess, the TQ to animals who should go to pet groomers, saying, quote, they will no longer serve. If you identify as anything other than a man or a woman, you need to get serviced at a local pet groomer. This is the consequence. Okay, this is, remember, like how we said it's not that racist people went away. It's just that they stopped talking because we kept calling them out. And now they came out of the woodwork because we had somebody in the White House who made it okay to say stupid, hateful, racist stuff all of the time. Because it was just locker room talk, or you're just telling it like it is, or blah, 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 blah. Like, I never thought that racist people didn't exist. I just wanted them to shut the hell up with their racist tendencies. You could think any thought you want to. I don't want to freaking hear it. And now it's coming for the LGBTQ community. And it's sad. But here's my question. Why do you think that they're really doing this? Do you really think it's because they truly believe this? Do you believe it's for clout? Because I can't imagine hurting your business in this way. Because the woman, and when we touched on this a little bit earlier, the woman in the web design case, in case you don't realize this,
it's fake.
Was never asked to create a web page. It was a hypothetical situation. She took the rights of the LGBTQ community to walk into any business and get any type of services away from them for a situation that never happened. And people disagree with me on this. They say this all the time. I shouldn't have to provide a service to somebody I don't want to. Yes, that is what has been said for generations, to discriminate against other people. And they just don't see the line there. I'm not talking about Black people. Okay. I'm talking about transgender people. There's a difference. Is there? Did that person do something to you? To do the I refuse service if you're misbehaving, if you're being rude to my staff, if there's a solid reason for not providing a service to someone, I totally get that. But you're wanting to not provide the services because you don't like that person. You don't like who they are. You don't like who they love. They didn't do anything to you. They're not harming you in any way. You're picking and choosing a part of, let's just say, your religion to discriminate. You're not picking the part of your religion that tells you not to judge people. You're not picking the part of your religion that tells you to love everybody. You're not picking the part of your religion that says God is in each and every single human being. The way you treat the less of us is the way you treat God. You're not picking that part of your religion, are you? You're choosing to interpret something to allow you to hate on other people. And then you're saying, I have the freedom of my expression to discriminate against these people at the detriment of my own business. So that's why I bring up the clout, because I can't imagine why anybody would want to do this in any other way. Unless you want to be on Truth Social or have a Fox News show of your own or something like that. Why do you think these people are doing that? I can't imagine it serves them well. The Instagram page of this the Salon 8 in Traverse City, Michigan has already gone private, right? So now they're reducing their exposure. They're doing all of these things. And not only that, why does she have to talk about them like they're animals? Does that not harken back, right, to the days where people saw Black people as less than, Jewish people as less than, Japanese people as less than? I mean, throughout history, we have example after example of othering other people. And now all of a sudden, the LGBTQ community is the latest target and they can't seem to draw the frickin' line. I just don't get it. It makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. But somebody rightfully said, there was a Twitter line. They said, we told you it wasn't just about cake or a website. No, they're going to continue this. They're going to see how far it can go. Somebody earlier was saying, it's going to fail before the Supreme Court. Are you sure? Are you sure? They're going to keep pushing it and dividing us. And I don't think that we need to. Amy, you're absolutely right. Do you know how much it costs to mind your own damn business? It's free. Just cut the hair. What do? I cut hair. Whose hair? Anybody's hair. Walk through the business, cut the hair. Bye. Nobody's asking you to go to a drag show. Nobody's asking you to be gay married. Nobody's asking you to do anything more than what you do for anybody else, any other human being. So yeah, it pisses me off. I hope that her business goes under. I hope that there's not a lot of people that lose their jobs because of it, because I do think that it would really suck to be part of this salon and be like, wait a minute, what? What are you saying online? What did you just do to our salon and our livelihood? I mean, that would piss me off so freaking bad. But yeah, Traverse City Hair Salon, they've put it on their page, no longer servicing members of the LGBTQ community. Other places are posting signs that say no gays allowed. God, it blows my mind that this is 2023. This blows my mind that it's 2023. All right. I just had to get that out. I really, really did. Let's do something a little bit different. What is today? You know what today is? What's the date? You're muted.
It's 7-Eleven.
So are you going to go get one?
Probably.
It has a plastic straw, though.
Am I putting it in the microwave or the dishwasher?
You're using it. How am I supposed to have my Slurpee if it's no plastic July or plastic free July?
Oh, that's true. Well, you could just get it in the cup and not, fill it to the brim and do without the plastic.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it is 7-Eleven day. What's your favorite Slurpee flavor?
Sometimes they have a specialty one. They'll have like a pina colada.
Oh, really? You like the pina colada?
I've enjoyed that before, but most often it's the blue. They'll get the blue.
See, the thing that pisses me off about the blue.
But I haven't had a Slurpee in years.
Oh, I haven't had a Slurpee in a very long time. But I like purple. I like grape, Fanta grape. Okay. And they rarely have it. Yeah. They have blue, they have red, they have Coke.
Sometimes they have a lemonade. A lemonade flavor is good.
That sounds actually pretty yummy. Yeah. Coke and cherry. Coke and cherry. Natalie likes. Yeah. Walnut Creek. I have a Final Destination nightmare that plays out in my mind every time I see stainless steel straws. I have a ton of them because my in-laws keep buying them for me. And I don't use them because I keep imagining tripping, falling, and it going through my eyeball. So I don't like them.
We mentioned this last week as I was talking about plastics, and I brought out one in my purse. I don't have my purse in here right now, but it has a little silicone thing that wiggles. So when you're drinking it, it would wiggle. It's not, but stiff.
It's stainless steel all the way on the other part of it, right?
It's true.
No, so it'll still happen. I have a fully silicone straw, and I like that one. It's thick, so you can clean it really well.
So let me just go here. Let's just lay this out. You're worried about a stainless steel straw poking out your eyeball and going into your brain, even though that's an accident that's unlikely.
Not unlikely. A woman did get injured not too long ago, but okay.
You're not worried about wrapping your plastic wrap in your chicken, wrapping it all up in the saran wrap, because
you're absolutely correct. Yes,
that's a 100% guarantee that chemicals are in your food. This is just this random chance of an accident. I
don't see a third eye on my forehead just yet. So yeah, no, I don't like. I literally. Okay, hold on. I'm going to find you the story. A woman just was injured, and I think it went through her mouth.
Oh,
injury. Here we go. Fatal accident with metal straw highlights risk. Fatal 2016. Disturbing story. A British woman impaled by a metal straw after falling at her home.
So once in 7 years, freak accident.
Okay, find me a headline where somebody died from saran wrap. Go. Google it right now.
My emails, I'm already crafting the email with all the links to show you that you're poisoning yourself and your family. I'm on it.
But death. I want to see death by saran wrap. I have death by stainless steel straw. I have it. I could probably find even more. I bet I could just do a Google search. Woman dies. A child's rare metal straw accident. Metal straw punctures 4-year-old's throat. I think that my fear is way more likely than the slow death from saran wrap.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying, woman. That's all I'm saying. Metal chemicals aren't going to stab me in the roof of my mouth or my eyeball. Heather writes, exactly. Yeah. Oh, I swear to God. See? So now every time you take out your little metal straw with your rinky dinky silicone, just be sure you don't trip, woman. Just
oh
be
my
sure
God.
you do not trip. Oh, you know what went away also that I tried? I was going to say this on Friday because we're talking about drinks. Did you ever try the Grimace shake?
No, because I heard it was really gross.
So I think right before we left for Hawaii, my son was like, I really want to try it. I'm like, okay. So we went to the drive-thru. We got the small. It tastes like Dylan, are you here? No. Never know where my children are. It tastes like vanilla cake, like a vanilla cupcake.
Okay.
This weird extra flavor. It is so sweet. Like too sweet. We didn't even finish it. We just left it. Like we probably each took 3 sips. I think I took 2. No bueno. Do you know what Grimace is? Did we have this conversation already? Do you know what Grimace is?
Grimace is a giant purple guy who's a McDonald's character, right?
But what is he?
Giant purple blob. But what is he? I don't know. Grape? What is he? I don't know.
He's not a grape because there's absolutely no grapes at McDonald's. So we're having the shake, and I ask my son. I go, no. My son asked me. He's like, "Do you know what a Grimace is?" And I was like, "I bet you know because you're on YouTube all the time, right?" I was like, I think he's like a monster, like a little character. They say that Grimace is. Does anyone write it in the chat? Don't Google it. A taste bud.
What?
A taste bud.
That's what Grimace is?
That's supposedly Grimace. It's never been exclusive, like, officially said. But he's a taste bud, which is kind of gross.
That's really gross and weird. And I can understand why they didn't publicize that.
Like, why isn't it pink? Right? I mean, your tongue's supposed to be pink. Why is Grimace purple if he's supposed to be a taste bud?
And grimace in and of itself, I mean, is a word that means what? To like have a facial expression?
A sour face or whatever.
So if it's meant to be a taste bud, a grimace is not the reaction that you would want that taste bud to feel.
Right. Yeah. Let me see. I'm going to Google it. I'm going to see who said it was a taste. Somebody said it. In 2012, McDonald's tweeted that their official account that Grimace was the embodiment of a milkshake, though others still insist he's a taste bud. The account tweeted something similar in 2014, saying Grimace lore says he's the embodiment of a milkshake or a taste bud. There he is. Scary as hell. Favorite McDonald's character? Is it Ronald McDonald? I think it's the Hamburglar.
It has to be. Doesn't it have to be the hamburger guy?
Or there was the Mayor McCheese. Is it Mayor McCheese? We had this whole conversation with my son and my husband in the car going through all of the different characters. If you're looking to get paid to eat, not McDonald's, but state fair food, you can do it. You can get paid $15,000 to eat your way through the best state fairs this summer.
Wow.
American Inn by Wyndham, I guess the inn place, right? It's looking for a family to eat their way through 3 state fairs in the Midwest next month. In exchange for documenting the experience on TikTok and Instagram, winners will receive $15,000 and 7 free nights of lodging at American hotels. Winners will chronicle their adventures at the Iowa State Fair, the Illinois State Fair, and the Wisconsin State Fair. So you have to go to those places, obviously. But my question is, like, anybody that goes to those fairs is going to be documenting it on TikTok and Instagram because that's what people do.
I just found this website. I was looking for a picture of fair food while you were talking.
Right.
On Food Network, and it lists the 50 states of fair food. So the top fair food from all 50 states.
Okay.
Do we have time for this?
Yes, lay it on me.
I'm telling you, I haven't seen all of them, but the Florida one is pretty good. So this is Florida's entry, and it's
Ooh.
called Strawberry Lemonade Sweet Cake Sundae.
I would eat that. I would
In
eat that.
Morning, Florida.
Yeah.
This is Ohio.
Buckeyes.
Deep-fried
I just watched
Buckeyes.
the cooking show making these Buckeyes. It was
They're
a no-freeze
deep-fried.
ice cream Buckeye. Yeah, those look yummy.
What are Buckeyes? Are they like a plant?
No, well, Buckeye from
Like a nut?
Ohio, it's their mascot.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Ohio
but
State
I've never
Buckeyes.
had one.
So I think it's like the tree. I think it's supposed to look like a nut, but I believe it's like hard peanut butter-ish
Oh.
ice cream, and then it's dunked in chocolate. And those ones
Inspired
look
by the
fried.
state tree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks.
That's pretty
They
good.
look yummy. I've never had one.
New Mexico is the green chili Navajo taco.
I wouldn't eat that just because it looks really heavy. It looks good, but it looks heavy. I would not eat that at the state fair. Maybe at a restaurant, but not.
Fold it in half and shove it in, Nikki. Texas, injectable great balls of barbecue.
Nah, what's injected
Look
in
at
it?
see, they've got that thing right there. I don't know what they do. Maybe it's barbecue sauce. Its own pipette block of barbecue sauce to inject another blast of barbecue flavor.
Just into whatever you have. Those look like hush
Yeah,
puppies or
it's got
something.
a little injectable thing there.
All right, that looks good.
This is the fair scone from the state
No,
of
I'm not having a
Washington.
freaking scone at the state fair.
It looks boring compared to
Yeah.
everything else. Nevada Basque fries.
What are Basque fries? See, as you talk, I need to know what I'm talking about here. Basque fries.
That's Oh wait, hold on. Okay, let's go back to Basque fries.
Are there potatoes? Okay, so it is just potatoes. But they have a chili powder. It's a Basque chili powder on them.
Basque heritage, right? The Basque fries, also known as lamb testicles. The meat is thinly sliced and tenderized with a mallet, marinated in milk overnight, battered and dredged in lightly seasoned breadcrumbs, fried until golden. No ordinary ketchup will do.
No, I will not be eating testicles. Thank you.
Lamb testicles. This is Wisconsin's original cream
I'd eat
puff.
that. I'd eat that.
Absolutely.
I want some strawberries on it though.
South Carolina shrimp and grits sundae.
I like shrimp and grits. It's kind of gross to eat it in like the sundae kind of form, but I might F that up. Yeah, I might eat that.
Arizona fry bread.
See, that kind of reminds me of the Navajo thing, but because you put strawberries and whipped cream on it, now I'm down.
It kind of looks like a funnel cake to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Maine blueberry crepe.
No, I'm not eating that at the state.
Really?
I'll eat that at a restaurant. At a restaurant. I'm not gonna. No.
California, ours is wine slushy.
Not even food.
Way to go, California.
Yes, I will be having that every single day.
Missouri's is black walnut top salad.
Blah, blah. Nope.
Vermont maple creamy.
What's a building? It's not a creamy. A corn dog.
Corn dog.
Why do they spell with a K? That's really suspect.
The cozy dog
Illinois?
drive-in. I don't know. They're serving them up at the Illinois
I love
State
a good
Fair.
corn dog. I love corn dogs. I really do. I'm a corn dog eater, dude.
Massachusetts, the pumpkin whoopie pie.
It's cakey. It's creamy. No, I probably wouldn't buy it though. I'm not a big pumpkin person either.
Oh, in Idaho, you get an Idaho ice cream potato.
Ooh, I might share that with some. Yeah, I would definitely. Yeah.
Ice cream and a potato? That sounds gross.
It's not in a potato. It just looks like a potato, right?
I think
it's chocolate ice cream. I think it's chocolate ice cream. No, it's shaped like it's shaped like
yeah, it's a cleverly disguised as a baked potato.
If you put ice cream on a baked potato, I would not.
It's cocoa powder dusted on the outside of vanilla ice cream.
Yeah,
so it looks like a
potato. That is not.
I was about ready to be horrified. No. This is New Hampshire's lobster roll.
Hot or cold lobster roll, because some people serve it cold and that is a no for me. I do not like cold crab. I do not like cold lobster. I want it hot. I want it buttery. I want that bread to be garlicky, and then I'd eat it. But I don't know. It looks like it has mayo on it. Yes, all the corn.
Roasted
all the
corn
corn.
on the cob in Indiana.
I have it elote style though. Can't have it just plain with butter. Come on.
Hawaii, panko crusted ahi tuna plate lunch. Yes, please.
I mean, but I'd eat that at a restaurant, not at a state fair. I'm sorry.
It's state fair food. They're serving.
They probably overcook it though. I like it rare in the middle. They probably overcook it. No, thank. Oh,
poutine in North Dakota.
Do you like poutine?
I don't know. I've never had it.
It's just potatoes, cheese curds, and gravy.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah.
Nebraska Reuben burger.
My husband would F that up. He loves Reubens. He loves Rubens. Yeah, he'd do that. I don't know about. I'd probably have a bite. I wouldn't order
sauerkraut
that.
on it. It's got all that. Yeah, I think my husband would like that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Pennsylvania Dutch funnel cake. There's your
funnel
funnel cake.
I always take a bite of funnel cake, but I never order it just for myself. I know some people are like, I need the funnel cake. No,
it's massive. Oklahoma Indian taco.
Ooh, that looks interesting. That looks like I have to share it again. Very, very heavy. I could not eat that on my own.
Rotary Club hamburger in Wyoming.
Oh my God. Just hold that picture up there right now.
It looks like it's doused in Kraft cheese.
Did you see this burger? I made the news. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find. Here it is. Okay, hold on. I'm going to share. I'm going to save the picture real quick. So if they are taking cheeseburger, did you see this cheeseburger to a whole new level? And I think this is in China. Where is this? But I'm going to show. Okay, so take that picture down real quick and I'll show you this. Now you tell me if you would eat this. Now it's not a fair food.
Okay.
But this is a burger. And it is 100%. There's no meat. It is literally all cheese. It's in Thailand.
That's
a burger, no meat.
That's a cheese sandwich.
20 slices of cheese costs about $3. Has gone viral. So many people are buying it that they stopped doing delivery, like DoorDash orders for it. You can only really get it if you're in. Part of me kind of feels like I would eat that.
I would
not happily, but I would probably at least a bite.
I will make a cheese sandwich. Like I will have bread with a piece of Kojak cheese and mayonnaise, mustard, lettuce, and then another piece of bread. And I will eat that as a sandwich without meat in it. But that's too much cheese. That's like cheesy cheese overload.
I know. I love cheese. I'm getting some pushback on my lobster needs to be warm. Cold. Born and raised in Maine. That's the only way. I don't want a cold. I don't want.
Yeah.
When I eat lobster at the restaurant, it is hot. Why would I want to take that hot, delicious, buttery, gorgeous lobster, put it on a nice, warm, toasty, garlicky bun, and have it cold in the middle? I don't understand that. Is it because it's so freaking cold where you guys live? And I live in hot, warm, yummy California? I have no idea. But I would not want a cold. Oh, yeah. And Beth agrees. I make them at home. Cold lobster roll. No.
Yeah. Maybe you have to try it before you.
I have. And I didn't like it cold. I took a bite and I was like, why is it cold?
Okay.
No, anyways. All right. All right. Well, did we have any other yummy things to show? You already took it down. It's fine. Okay.
Oh, I can put it back up if you want it. I don't know.
No, we could save them. We could save them. But go ahead.
There's a couple things. Let's scroll through two more. The Louisiana Bayou balls.
Are those testicles again?
I don't know. I think they're crisp panko breadcrumbs drizzled with brown signature Cajun sauce.
Yeah, but what's on? It's like when they bury what's inside their testicles. I bet when anyone's like, "Would you like to eat these balls?" and they're like, "I won't tell you what's inside them." Don't. Just
Sweet Martha's chocolate chip cookies in Minnesota.
Yeah, but I can get cookies anywhere. I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to go to a state fair and go on TikTok and Instagram? If I was one of these families, and again, it's the American with INN at the end. Okay. They're the ones that are doing it. /fair family. If you want to make $15,000, eat fair food all day. Ooh, I'd eat that. The Pueblo chilies, deep fried.
That's from Colorado. Yeah, there's some good stuff. We're running out of time. A scrapple sandwich? No thanks.
No, that looks like turd on a bread. No,
black-eyed peas in Georgia.
No.
Mississippi biscuits.
No. You gotta entice me.
Virginia butt fries. What's a butt fry?
That actually looks pretty good. It needs a better name though.
Scott with pork butt fries.
Yeah, absolutely.
Arkansas peanut patties. I'll take that.
That looks yummy. That looks really good.
Iowa
pork chop on a stick.
Look at her.
She seems she seems to be enjoying it. If it had a bone in it, if it was a bone-in pork chop, that's it. Ooh, a meatball and mozzarella bread
cone. That's in New Jersey.
Yeah, I might eat that. I might.
Hemp burger in Oregon.
See, but the problem with eating your weed is then you just keep eating, right?
There's a
what is that?
Chocolate covered cherry scone in Michigan.
Enough with the scones, people. I want something deep fried and fatty. What's the Viking?
The Viking from Montana. It's meatball on a stick.
Nah.
A big meatball on a stick.
Nah.
Utah, the French fry stuffed burger. So you get, look at the fries inside the burger.
Nah. My husband would probably like that.
New York
Buffalo wings. My daughter would like that. She's loves buffalo wings. Tamales.
Alabama tamales. Are we almost done?
Oh, that's interesting.
Maryland Krabby Patty. Yes, please.
Oh, SpongeBob will eat that.
South Dakota smoked roast beef sandwich.
No, I wouldn't eat that.
Tennessee deep fried goo goo cluster.
It sounds like something I would eat. Chocolate, hopefully,
good.
Not testicles. Okay.
And Connecticut, the lime Ricky.
That's booze. I'm in. Pretty sure that's booze, so I'm in. All right. Thank you, Cam, for going through all of those. We're done. Click the thumbs up button, guys, to show your support of the show. We absolutely love you. A big thank you to those that donated during our chat. Wes with $5. Rick coming through with $11. Thank you guys so very much. And again, the best way to support the show and to make sure you see our pretty faces along with our saran wrap and nonsense food talk. Oh, both of our pretty faces.
Iced tea.
And our glass iced tea. I'm adorable. Please consider donating to our Patreon, theNikkiMedoroShow.com. You can sign up for any amount you can afford as a monthly tip to the show. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. You're proud, like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.